Corey Horton back to the end zone.
28-yard play. Guess who? Body up the middle, making another move to the outside. 15, 10, end zone again.
Keeps it. Nice move by Brown. He's got space. He's got 6. 35-yard touchdown for Byron Brown. A record-setting night for the South Florida quarterback.
Down so far, a little bit of a high snap. Genty right up the middle. Genty has room. Ashton Genty, give him 6.
Second and long. Lagar tries to fit it in. Runnels, it does. Runnels stays up. The show's off his 4-3 wheels. Incredible effort for Royals.
The G5 Hive. All G5, all the time.
Welcome to the G5 Hive Live. We're a little bit earlier on this Monday. Christmas vacation. Got some stuff that popped up in the evening. So we're moving it up just a little bit. We are excited to bring you the G5 college football coverage that you love each and every week. I am Luke, and I am joined by my co-host, Justice. If you're watching us on YouTube, please hit that like and subscribe button. If you're watching us on X, please give us a follow, a like, a retweet. And if you're listening to us in podcast form, please rate and review. The G5 Hive merchandise store is now live. Link in the YouTube comments as well as pinned on our X page and at the bottom of the screen. Move over to the Bahamas Bowl. It's Buffalo Bulls versus the Liberty Flames in the Bahamas, Saturday, January 4th, 11 a.m. Eastern on ESPN2. Injuries, opt-outs, portal guys, Buffalo Bulls, no injuries to note. Opt-outs and portal, there are 3 guys in the portal that they are on the depth chart for Buffalo, and they are allowed to play. Now, whether they will play or not, not sure, but assuming since they're on the depth chart, we will see them play. There's a long snapper, I'm forgetting his name, kicker Upton Beliphant, and then wide receiver Javian Cuff for Buffalo. Liberty Flames, injuries, none to note. Opt-outs, portal guys will not play. And let me take a deep breath before I get to all of these names for Liberty. Quarterback, Kane Salter. Running back, Quentin Cooley. Running back, James Jointer. Running back, Victor Venn. Wide receiver, Kalen Austin. Wide receiver, Markel Fortenberry. Wide receiver, Cesar Carrasco. Offensive lineman, Jordan White. Offensive lineman, Xavier Gray. Offensive lineman, Jordan Hall. Offensive lineman, Isaiah Taylor. Defensive lineman, Eliot Nyari. Defensive lineman, Rod Daniels. Defensive lineman, Marquise Lansfield. Linebacker, Jerome Jolly. Cornerback, Dominique Hall. Defensive back, Marquise Bell. Safety, Jabin Ford. And kicker, Nick Brown. So a lot of guys out for Liberty.
A lot of offensive guys, right? I mean, I think the big things for Liberty is no Caden Salter, no Quentin Cooley, and then offensive line. I think that's gonna, losing some starters and some depth on that offensive line. So let's talk about who.
Well, so before we get too far into it, over under for sacks in the game, Justice, for this Buffalo Bulls team. If you haven't been paying attention, we've got the Bash Bros. Justice, we'll talk about the Bash Bros here. But like, how many sacks, how many tackles do you think those two combined for in this game, given the offensive line?
Oh, I don't know about tackles. I don't know if Liberty's going to be on the field that much and be that effective. But sacks, I think I'd put it like 4.5. If I was going to set the line, I'd probably put it at 4.5.
And are we just talking about overall or for the Bash Bros?
I think overall 4.5.
Overall. Okay, because they
could get that themselves easily. I think if I was going to set the line, I'd set it at 4.5 if I was an odds maker.
People are looking for an off or a defensive just juggernaut to watch. Buffalo will be fun to watch.
Yeah.
All right. Who are the Buffalo Bulls that we need to know about?
Let's start let's start with the Liberty Flames on offense.
Okay.
So that's where all the question marks are, right? They lose their starting running back, they lose their starting quarterback. So it looks like Ryan Berger is going to get to start. He was in concussion protocol earlier this month, but it looks like by all accounts he's kind of cleared that protocol. He will get the start, and that's huge for Liberty because their backups are Nate Hampton, who's in the transfer portal, and I think he's already committed somewhere, but he's agreed to stay on and at least be the backup in this game. And then a freshman that they're really excited about, Jaden Bradford. He needs to have surgery, but he's put off surgery just so he's available in this game. So the fact that Ryan Berger, is available and playing, he was their backup all year. If you're not familiar with Berger, he is a transfer from App State. He actually won the App State job in 2023, heading into the season, beating out Joey Aguilar. He got hurt, I think, in game one, got injured, missed the rest of the year. Joey Aguilar took over, and kind of the rest was history. But Ryan Berger is a capable quarterback. So I'm not too concerned about him being gone. I think the bigger concern for Liberty on offense is the offensive line. Running back, they do lose Quentin Cooley, but they got Billy Lucas. They got Vaughn Blue. Look for Billy Lucas to kind of fill in for Quentin Cooley's role, and he's done it throughout the year. When Cooley's been banged up, he's a good running back in his own right. When Liberty's throwing the ball, you're looking at wide receivers Trayon Sibley and Elijah Canyon as their top pass catchers. I think it's all going to hinge on how this offensive line is able to block and keep
I think Vaughn Blue could get a lot of run. He was hurt earlier in the season, but he's been he was going to be their passing down type back. So I think he could get some run in this game as well.
It's the key to this game is going to be that Liberty offensive line and holding this Buffalo defense at bay. Like Luke said, they're a pretty talented defense. They are led by the Bash brothers, Sean Dolak and Red Murdoch, the top two tacklers in all of college football, and they're both on the same team. Both super talented guys. Sean Dolak should have at the very least should have been a Butkus Award finalist, but that's something that we've talked about ad nauseum at this point. Red Murdoch is a great runner, a great linebacker as well. On the back end of that defense, they're led by safety Marcus Fuqua and cornerback Marquise Cooper, and then the guys up front that in addition, both Murdoch and Dolak will rush the passer. But the two defensive ends, or the edges, if you will, for Buffalo have had great seasons in the sack department as well. And that's Kobe Stewart and Deion Crawford. Look for the two of them as well as the Bash brothers to kind of eat in this game. I expect them to put a lot of pressure on Ryan Berger, given his inexperience in this offense and this kind of makeshift offensive line, if you will. When Buffalo is on offense, they're really kind of a three-headed monster on the offensive side of the ball. You got quarterback CJ Agbana, who's a dual threat, can beat you with his arm, beat you with his legs. They got running back Aljay Henderson, who really came on strong at the end of the year, the second half of the season. I look for him to have a huge game in this game against Liberty. And when CJ's throwing the ball, his number one target was a walk-on. He got offered a scholarship during the season, and that's wide receiver Victor Snow. He's really the man that kind of gets things going for the Bulls through the air. On defense, probably the biggest loss for Liberty will be linebacker Jerome Jolly, who's in the portal, and he will not be playing. But the guys that are there, they're led by linebackers Joseph Carter, and look for Taylor Jackson to kind of step up in Jerome Jolly's absence there at linebacker. they got two talented defensive ends on Liberty, TJ Bush and CJ Bazile. Those are the guys creating that pressure. Those are the guys going to be responsible for trying to help contain CJ Agbana. And then the defensive backfield, probably their best player for the Flames is Quentin Reese. The current spread in this game is Buffalo -2.5, and
more.
I like that all day, man. Give me Buffalo. I think they win the game by 6, 7, somewhere around there. The over/unders 50.5. I think the offensive line for Liberty is going to be a problem against this Bulls defense.
It's going to be the Bash brothers for the Buffalo Bulls in the Bahamas Bowl. It's going to be a lot of B's.
Yes. Buffalo Bowl, Bash Brother, Bahama Bowl. And I think all those, all those B's at the end of the day, what I think they mean victory for the Bulls.
Yeah, absolutely. Why don't you come back and join us next week as we discuss what happened in the G5 Bowl games, as well as bring you up to date on all the latest news and happenings in the world of G5 college football. If you're watching us on YouTube, please hit that like and subscribe button. And if you're watching us on X, please give us a retweet, a like, and a follow. If you're listening to us on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, please subscribe and leave those 5-star rating and reviews. Thank you all for your support. Until the next time, we are the G5 Hive.
First